Oh, it's on. Okay, hi. Let's get the Steadicam going here. I was on this road, and it's a very nice road for a desert dirt road. Really enjoyed it, and I was really enjoying riding along, enjoying this expansive view. It's just so beautiful. My goodness. I saw one car so far, and I thought I'd stop and park the bike. Leave the old ugly stick here. I propped it up on a rock there. Keep it from falling over. Everything's locked up. Let's double check. Yes, keys safe. Good. Helmet's locked. And oh, I almost forgot my light. You know, I usually forget lights. Hold on. Let's put this here for a second. Sorry. I always until today forget my light or my water. And I do have water too, although I don't think I'll need much. I don't think I'm going very far. I've got my thermos full of coffee and some dinner. I think I'll go have dinner up there on the mountain, and then come back and enjoy a nice ride out of here. I wish I had the GoPro working. I'm having some trouble with it. And then I could show you guys what it's like to ride on this. It's really nice. So let's go. Goodbye, ugly stick. See you later. Stay. Don't leave. Struggling, suffering trees, my wife calls them. Joshua trees. Is that a Joshua tree or kind of like an intermediary something? A yucca of some sort? It kind of looks like a fire ring, doesn't it? Half a fire ring. Oh, look at that. These ones are standing like soldiers. Attention. There's a fallen over one of those. I really should carry some books of life and of geology. Could I call that a book of death? Or just not alive? See, I really don't know where I'm going to go. I was kind of, that caught my eye, that valley over there. But then this catches my other eye, which is kind of a strain to look at both with both eyes. So I think I'll turn the camera off for now, and I'll turn it back on as we get a little closer. Okay? Okay, bye-bye. Here's a little stream channel. I kind of like the way it meanders. Enjoying. It's kind of an interesting kind of sand. It's more like, you know, how do I describe that? Not gravel. Not quite gravel. What would you call that? Oh, this is a nice one. I'm going to continue to call that the whatever plant, because I have no idea. Well, I have a rough idea. Oh, here's this decomposing wood. Slow to decompose here in the desert. Probably one of these Joshua whatevers. Oh, that's nice. There's any black widows. I'm going to take a little hazard risk and let's lift it up and see if there's anything underneath. Anything living down there. Try to be very careful and return it the way I could. Is that a velvet ant there? Nothing moving, nothing scurrying. Sure, there's lots of, I can smell the dampness. It is kind of wet. I can smell the earth. And I'm sure there's lots of bacteria. The kings of the earth. You know, we humans are just... I mean, there's bacteria living deep inside rocks in the earth. I mean, come on. And they've been doing that for longer than... They were doing that for longer than, you know, any other... Well, there's, you know, prokaryotic and eukaryotic, and there's another one, form of life. Well, look at this rock. Isn't that interesting? It's very nicely. It's almost like a mason had chiseled it. Beautiful texture. Oh my goodness, that is so beautiful. I really like this rock. Let's see. Prokaryotic are cells without a cell nucleus. So, you know, witness bacteria, for example, just kind of a little blob in there. I mean, they've got all their little constituent parts, but it doesn't have the command center of the cell nucleus. Yes, I. But eukaryotic cells, on the other hand, have that. Came along later. So bacteria represent prokaryotic, and the cells that make up our bodies. That's a nice photo. Snap, snap. The cells that make up our bodies. Look at this nice desert pavement type of stuff. Have the cell nucleus, and so eukaryotic. And there's another one. What is it? I can't remember. What is that other one? Look at this. It's kind of. I wonder what happened here. How did it get wiped out like that? It's like someone did it wrong. Someone did this one wrong too. Look at that. It's missing a limb. And you can see here's the plant, and then I'll bet you anything that's the limb right there. Doesn't fall far from the tree. And then another little stream. What is that other type? It's like another kingdom, so to speak. I mean, now I'm getting all kinds of things mixed up, confusing kingdoms with cell types and the like. But that's the kind of frothy ferment of thought that is my favorite, because in the end it yields results that are unexpected. If you can throw a bunch of things together in your mind and have them stew around, and then get a little exercise, get the bodily fluids, the precious bodily fluids moving, what can result can be startling, ephemeral, strange, nonsensical, and periodically a little profound. So look at this. Come across a little trail. This is a sign that I'm not in the deep desert when you see stuff like this. The deep desert, you don't really see that kind of, don't encounter the signs of humanity. Well, we're getting closer. My hand's getting tired. I'm gonna turn it off for a second. I'll turn it back on when interest provokes the button to be pushed. Isn't that beautiful? I just really like that mountain. Anyway, I backed up because I wanted to show you what I found here. A fire pit. But it's not just any little fire pit. It's interesting. It's got a conspicuous bit of ash in there, which I'm sure is adding precious nutrients to the soil. And you can see bits of green growing there from the recent rains. Nice. And another fire pit, I think. Desert campers. And a lot of stones right here. Why are these stones here? Why are they so conspicuously clumped? I really doubt that it's anything other than a natural phenomenon, but I don't know that natural phenomenon. Now look at this. Here's like a little, look at that rock with the green and the pale stuff. It's got the green on the inside. Why? And then over here, this is the tableau. I see cactus and interesting rocks. Let's take a look at these one by one. Here's a cactus. Is that a type of cholla? Perhaps. And then the interesting rock over here. Look at that one. I like this rock. Cooled magma. Seems like that's all I ever talk about anymore is volcanic stuff. Because it figures so prominently in the experience here. Okay, starting to go up. I found a poor road. This would be a really rough climb on my motorcycle. Probably could do it because it's pretty hard packed. It'd be bumpy. I might go down a couple of times and break something on the bike or on something on me. I could probably do this very easily in a Jeep. I wonder if there's a mine up here, perhaps. Why don't we follow the road? I see an old can right there. See that? Go look at that. Could be, I don't know how old it is. Could be indicative of past activity. Sometimes I like to look at it and it's a paint can. Why not that Well, the road's up there. We'll walk down here for a little bit, see if we can find any interesting debris that might have washed down here in the stream. It's actually easier to walk down here than it is on that road, but we know where it is, and we'll try to investigate where it leads. Take a look again at the expanse of desert. What's that? Okay, we're starting to see boulders. Very rough boulders, the boulder fields here. Washed down from the mountain. Look at that, there's could be a mudslide or a boulder slide there. Came to a stop. Or maybe just deposition from the flood. I mean, from gradual flooding. It's going to be hard to walk on. It's very uneven. More evidence of cars and stuff here. Nice barrel cactus, is that? Is that moss or is that paint? I wonder. I bet that's paint. Probably someone put a can there and shot it and paint all over the place. Yeah. Is it? Yeah. I was kind of hoping it was moss. Yeah, that's paint. People have such a, such a different eye towards places like this. Uses for it. Of course, I don't appreciate or like seeing sites like that. It really doesn't bother me much in the long term. I try to think, although the loss of species and habitat are critical and near immediate, I try to think in terms of very long term. Millennia. Eons. That shot up old mannequin head. Millions of years even. Now we're into an interesting area. The road is up there. And this goes up here, up the wash. So what should we do? Should we follow this or follow the road? Probably follow the road. We can always come back down the wash. So we'll turn the camera on. We'll climb up there and turn the camera back on. Reconnected with the road. Why would anybody make a road up here if there wasn't a mine? It's kind of nice just to look at this. Look at that terrain there. You can see how the flow has created almost like a flatland there. Although it was violence of water that created that. I really think this is a mudslide here. See how it's kind of raised through here? Let's come down and petered out. Another one over there, petered out. It's a Japanese thing, Look at the big alluvial fan over there. Look at the way that the mountains are so graceful here. How the eroding mountains just kind of covered up the peaks out there. And there's somebody camping. Can you see that? There, right there. Or living. I don't know. Wildflower. In January. Nice. Turn it on again as we get closer. Not much further, I turned it on. It looks like we're getting near the end, so I'll let you guys share the end experience. I want to express the feeling of 50, but when I think about doing it, it comes out all wrong. Feels like a man on a ore cart coming down the mountains. The bridge is out. It's exciting, fascinating, beautiful landscape, speed, thrill, movement, all of that, but I can see the bridge is out up there. Can't quite make out just where, but I know it's out. And I'm going over the edge. I don't want to go over the edge. I know that's selfish. Need to make room for the others that are coming. My daughter, our children, your children, all children. There's only so much room on the earth. It's partially my job to be here and then leave. Make room for others. But I'm selfish. I don't want to go. I don't want to die. I love this so much. Even and especially in many ways, so cliche, the hard stuff. The hard stuff is what really rarefies the good stuff. We're at the end now. And it turned out to be a big nothing. At least to, as far as I can tell, look at that rugged wash. I'm tempted to climb up there. Just like life. I'm gonna end in a big nothing. I know that's controversial and it makes people, some people uncomfortable. But I guess I can have my way of thinking. I see a rock up there that shows evidence of mining. Let's go up and see. I do have my opinion, and I do like to express it. I'm sorry if it's not a happy one or a reassuring one. Look at this. But I see there's a rock up there with some marks in it that look like results of mining. In fact, I'm almost absolutely sure that's the case. This may have been a quarry of some sort. But, it's going to be just like it was before we were born. A whole lot of nothing. I mean, I don't know that, but there's certainly no reason to think otherwise. At least not the way I measure the world. I see that's definitely this has been dynamited out. Look at that line. It's a drill mark, and then dynamite stick was put inside. Bam, and I see more along there. So this was blasted out and fell down. So probably this was a quarry of some sort where miners were getting stuff out of the rocks. Just what it is, I don't know. Let's go see. I bet we'll find these equally spaced lines. There they are. Interesting, that's a photo right there. Yeah. And along, and see, they would drill down. This is probably the bottom of the drill shaft. That would have been the top. Drill in. Oh, excuse me. and with that language too. And then stick a piece of dynamite inside, light a fuse, go away, and it would crack, break, fracture here. And up here, clearly they needed a lot of them. Wow, I wonder why. Maybe because it's kind of in the grain, but I don't see a grain. Dynamite the size of my fingers. So this fell down, which means that they were blowing it out of here. Let's see if there's anything else. I may just hang out here and investigate this area. Turn the camera on if I find more to show you guys. Check up there. We'll have a little food, have a little coffee, and then look around. Always on the lookout for marks on the rock too. Pictographs and petroglyphs. Okay, I'll see you guys in just a minute. Maybe. So beautiful out there. So I'm having my early dinner. I decided to stop here. It's such a pleasant little place. And I've got my coffee out. And I decided to play a little game. I sent a photo of this to social media, and I asked people to guess what it is. Now, I'm not showing didn't show the line on the other side, so it's not as obvious what it is. I have to show a lot of people would know what it is if they saw that. So I gave a clue. I said the clue is that it has something to do with the Nobel Prize. And I said bonus points to anybody that can identify not only what it is, what those marks mean, but the connection with the Nobel Prize. Let's see. I'll let you guys know who the first person is that identifies it. Okay, time to eat. My Facebook friend Andrew got the answer. The first part, he said that a drill was used to drill in to split the rock, and so that is absolutely right. And the thing is, though, that my second part of is what's the connection to the Nobel Prize may not be completely true, because maybe it is true with this one, but I didn't show this part because maybe these are just drilled in and then split. But I think that this one they stuck the dynamite in. In fact, doesn't that look? That's finger size. Look at that. That's much bigger. That's much bigger than finger size. So I think that's the dynamite side, but this might be just the drill side. So Andrew might be right. My thing about the Nobel Prize might not work if it's just with this photo. I'd have to show this photo. But so what's the connection? The connection is that Mr. Nobel was the inventor of dynamite, which was used to split this rock. And he had an interesting circumstance where his brother died, and the newspapers, he was famous for that. He made him rich and famous for inventing dynamite. And his brother died, there was a mistake in the newspapers about his death, and he was able to read his own obituary before he died. And the obituary talked all about his invention of dynamite and how many people it had killed. And he decided he wanted to do something good in the world rather than being remembered as the man that blew up things. So he started up the Nobel Prize and endowed it with a generous endowment so that it could continue on. And that is the reason we have the Nobel Prize today, because a man accidentally read his own obituary. So that's a connection. Not so clear with this image, but maybe more clear over here. We'll see if anybody gets it. Good job, Andrew. Now it's time I think I'm going to head back down, and because I still have a long ride out of the mountains following that dirt road. See ya. It's funny how I have to be circumspect in what I talk about anymore. I thought I was going to talk about something, but my new circumstances are different here. In Japan, the only people that were in my life that saw my videos were my family, and they never saw my videos because they don't watch my videos. And people who watched me on YouTube, but that was cool because they watched it. They elected to do that. Everybody else, only other people that watched my videos were my friends, who were largely content creators themselves. So there was really nothing to hide. Although some of the topics that I talk about, or I don't really talk about it anymore, but I used to, were awkward especially with family members. It's funny how that's usually interesting. How the people that are our friends, the family we choose, are typically folks who maybe that's why we choose them, right? They align with our interests and our perspective. And the folks that are our true family are folks that are there by different bonds. And I guess that's always the case with everybody. So I guard what I say. Now I have to especially guard what I say now, because people that know me here sometimes watch these videos. It's a strange feeling to do that. Kind of like what Victor's doing. He's got those private videos. Interesting idea. I do have private videos. I do have, in fact, a whole playlist for Emily of videos that I've made for her. She's old enough, I'll teach her how to access it. I really ought to make a super private playlist. Post Mortem playlist. You know, you can't slander the dead. I wonder if you can slander their estates. I'm not thinking that for me. I'm just curious, thought. But I like that idea. It's an interesting idea. A post-mortem playlist, the real deal. Because the things that rattle in my head are greatly censored. When they make it out my lips, the camera here. Not so when the camera's off. See, it's already getting that way. This video is turning into kind of a, one of those, I used to call them stream of consciousness videos. I've got lots. In fact, I think I've got a whole playlist. Yeah, I do. On the Lyles Brother channel, there's a whole playlist called the Stream of Consciousness playlist. I used to, capture that stuff. It's like it's basically what's going on in your head, in my head at least. And it's when the thoughts are just, brought upon the mind, or whatever circumstance surrounds them. That's one of the reasons I do this hiking, because it facilitates that. It's a catalyst to thought. And every now and then, it's like you go through, and every now and then there's like stones and rocks and rubble. Most of the stuff that flows from my cortex is just this, it's ore. And every now and then again, there's a shiny, pretty one. I won't say precious or valuable, maybe just to me. And pick that up. Oh, look at that! Isn't that interesting? You pick it up and you look at it, and you try to examine its composition, figure out where it came from, what's its history. Does it have any significance? And sometimes you just put it back. Try to put it back where I found it. Maybe it's helping support something. Maybe it's part of the composition of some mental framework. Important in that matter. Sometimes I put it in my pocket. Sometimes I'll turn on. No, before I say that, sometimes I will write it down in my journal. I have lots of journals. Lately, I write them down and I put them over on my Lyles Brother. My journal is moved online. I record things on my electronic device, and then I write words down, and then I get to my get home and I put them on the computer. On the actually, is it there? Yeah, on the Lyles Brother WordPress blog, which is my journal now. And then I move those over to collections, something that I actually call collections over on the softypapa blog under the writing section. And I like the way that works, because then it's kind of like it's like specimen hunting. You find it, you record it, you catalog it. Some of the things in collections there are various collections. There's a Desert Musings collection. There's a Solitude collection. There's a reason, as in critical thinking, connection or collection. Nature, exploring, all kinds of stuff. And you catalog it and you put it in the appropriate collection. Look at that. I like that. It's got me in it too. What the heck? Well, that's not a bad thing. Maybe another old can. Can you see it? There it is. Bike's down there somewhere. And then the idea is that, this stuff is kind of nothing now. Oh, there's the campfire. The campfire that we saw before. This stuff is kind of nothing now. It's because we don't value contemporary work very much. It's a curious thing, In Japan, we have this principle where we revere the outsider and humble the insider, and I think that's a human trait in a way. And we kind of, like Pink Floyd says, the boy likens himself a poet in that particular voice. And we do that to one another, and we do it to ourselves. And it's only with a great deal of willpower that some of us can, that we choose to create in spite of it. And it was hard when I was in my 20s, and I wrote a lot when I was in my 20s. Did a lot of creative stuff. And then, videos with all the videos on YouTube and stuff. And after a while, you just, kind of becomes habit. Especially it gets easier when you get a little bit of an audience, like it happened on YouTube. And then there's a hole. But it's a different motivation now. Since I've come back to the States, there's the campfire fire again. Is that the same one or a different one? That's the same second one. There's the first one over there. It's different now. When I, this is not the creative outlet anymore. Videos. It's writing now, and it's this pithy. I call it poetry, but I don't think anyone would call it that. It's this short stuff that but really, really captures from the muse, the inspiration. It really, for me, it's like a direct connection with whatever firing and inspiring in my brain. It's that, and I would hazard to say that it's the stuff that I would want to leave behind as a legacy more than anything else. I mean, of course, secondary to having my genes laid down for future. I want to participate in the future. That, but that's, you get, it's tough. That's a whole other thing. That's where you start talking about, family and genetics. I mean, honestly, having my genes pushed forward into another generation doesn't matter much to me. That's hardly an issue. But I love my daughter, and I love my niece and my nephew, and I want to do what I can to facilitate their well-being and participate in that. But as for whether or not some twist and turn of my genetic code is in the population 20 generations down, which it'll just be a diluted thing anyway. It doesn't matter. I mean, we're all wiped out. Literally, so much back to that other topic before of being wiped out. I mean, you think you leave behind your genes, that's gonna leave something. Nuh-uh. What did I say? 7 generations? I think it is. Seven generations. Within 7 generations of you're so dilute. Your genes are so dilute that there's no commonality. I mean, there really is no record of you. And even those that who do become immortal in a way, that's through record or fame or whatever it may be, that's only fleeting as well. A lot of talk about mortality and immortality in this particular hike and legacy. And that comes back to the final point I wanted to make, which is that my creativity now is not born of overcoming, the thing you want to say, of humility, overcoming humility. Because you have to do that to be creative. You have to overcome humility in a way. It's not about that. It's not about a claim either, because I'm just a guy. But what it is about is my pending sense of doom. The end is near, as I like to so often say, and after I'm gone, 7 generations later, every part of it is gone. Yeah, whole hollowed out thing, and just like this, gone. And in another season or two, the whole thing will be gone, filled in. All the past legacy of this, just in genes, gone, and that's okay. So, because of that, I'm willing to just give it a try, and that's why I post the weird things that I post on Facebook now, because it's the stuff. I mean, who cares what I had for lunch? But maybe it would be interesting to someone to hear or read about what I found in places like that, especially what I learned about places like this, but what I found in places like that. And that's what I do. Well, I'm going to sign off now. Long, rambling hike. Take care, everybody.